This is the nomestia podcast, where we return to home as a paste. You are welcome here.
So, we're doing nomestia Diaries because...
Where are we?
Well, we are not in Morocco.
I think everyone listens like, thank God for that. I'm so bored of the
Bored of bloody
chat.
Morocco chat.
Anyway, but next week we're going to share a podcast all about Morocco.
Yeah. So, yes. One last Morocco one and then no more Morocco chat.
Yeah, we're going to do top 10 things you would tell a friend about Morocco.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, tune in for that if you're thinking about going to Morocco, particularly in a van. But, yeah, because we missed the podcast last week.
I know.
We had like such a long streak, but then we were absolutely inundated with a couple of messages saying, "Oh, didn't put out your podcast."
Shout out to Lindsay and shout out to, well, actually, he put the roof rack on our van alongside Roy.
Yeah.
And he has an amazing Unimog. Actually,
Yeah.
let me get his Instagram handle in case anybody wants to look at it. What is it?
Oh, I can't remember. It was like Overland something, wasn't it?
He used to have a Vario, and now he has a Unimog, which is just...
I don't really know what a Unimog is.
Well, I showed it you. It looks like an Overlander. But anyway, he's got his name is Anthony, and he helped, like, I met him, and he's really cool.
Yeah.
And then he said he listens to the podcast, so
Yeah.
I want to
Shout
be
out to Anthony.
I want to be as cool as Anthony. And then he shared a reel recently of his Unimog, which Arlo was obsessed with and made me watch twice. His handle is land_roamers. Anyway, he messaged and said he missed the podcast this week.
Goodness.
I know.
We really were inundated.
Yeah.
That's 3 messages.
3? Oh, because shout out to Sharon who messaged and said she
Yeah.
likes to listen. Oh, 3. Bloody hell.
Bloody hell. Anyway,
we let everyone down because we kept thinking, we should do it, but then we were just navigating, driving.
it was a lot. I mean, we were just coming back from Morocco and we're just like trying to do the... I mean, it was, we had a lot going on.
We had to, that week just disappeared. We were trying to take it slow, which I think we were in many respects. But at the end of the day, when you put it in maps in the Vario and it says, this drive is 4 hours, and you're like, all right, let's do it with tolls. We'll pay for the tolls, which is obviously more expensive for us. We are class 2s, so we pay basically double what a car does. So we were like, all right. Because everyone said, oh, tolls are so cheap in Morocco as opposed to France. Not being funny, but we went through some of those tolls and they were charging us, like £15?
Yes, they are cheaper, but...
Anyway, so...
No, none of them were as much as that.
No, I'm saying
they
like one
cheaper,
journey would be like £15, £20.
Yeah, they
adds
do
up.
add up, yeah. So one of the reasons why we were lacking in podcast is that we were dealing with a van situation. So we always knew that what we wanted to do was a service on the van because we got absolutely done over. We took the van back to where we bought the van from and they were trying to charge us for a service.
No, they did charge us for the service, and we redid the MOT because we put new seats in, but they charged us for the service, which should have been done before that van left them.
Oh yeah, no, they were trying to charge us for like fixing the brakes that shouldn't have been...
The brake discs, which again, apparently, because
shouldn't have been broken.
Well, they told me because I like to say it's because I'm a woman, and a lot of men would like to tell me that they get the same shit in garages, but they told me that because it had been stationary, that's why the brake pads had worn. Like I'm a fucking idiot.
Love all that.
So before we left, it had oil change and its levels topped up, and then it had the brake discs done on the back, and then we put new tyres all round. So it's had a lot of love, but what we thought it needed was... Like, really, we don't know when the filters had been done when I reflect back.
Yeah, like a full service we wanted.
Yeah.
We didn't trust these people to have done anything
No.
close to a full service.
No.
So, we wanted to do it while we're in Morocco because in Morocco, we've probably said before, loads of Mercedes Varios. So it's like they know the vans.
I got shown by somebody at length. You said that you just would rather not.
Like you said, like changing the oil, evidently you saw that it was doable. My issue is, like getting rid of the oil, finding a receptacle for the oil. It's a lot of oil that this old girl takes. It's like 15, nearly 16 litres, isn't it?
Yeah, 15.8.
Like finding a receptacle suitable for that. Also, I'm quite a messy workman. If I'm painting a wall, I always end up with like quite a lot of paint on me. And I just know that if I'm trying to change the oil, I would probably end up being covered in oil somehow. It's just, they call me Mr. Bean. It's
just me that calls you that.
It's probably a fair reflection.
I think the thing is, right, is that the couple, when I watched them do it, right, I thought, yeah, I mean, it is doable. It would take us a fucking long time, and that's fine. But they did have tools that I was like, we definitely don't have that
Well,
to get the filter top off.
Yeah.
We definitely didn't have that size.
Yeah.
For example, so you might have to, and also he couldn't get on the sump. He couldn't get it loose. They had to use multiple tools. That would have stressed us out. But anyway, this is why we then just paid them to do it, because we decided that the slidey door on the Vario, look, all the doors on the Varios are dodgy. They're made like these sturdy vans, but the doors just are there. Everyone has a foible.
Yeah, everybody has a weak spot.
That's the Vario.
The handles are just made out of like the cheapest plastic. So like it's such a sturdy van, but like Vario handles are just like flimsy, and constantly you're scared you're gonna snap it off.
Which you can do, but there's like a technique, so you have to keep with the technique. But then the slidey door just got worse and worse, and then what was happening was it was eroding the metal as it was clipping in, and it just wasn't shutting. So I wanted to use lubrication, but like, what was the term? Oh, it's silicone. We didn't have any of that. And then I was like, all right, I'm so sick of it. I'm going to just WD-40 it. So I WD-40'd everything. And then that made it better. But then, I don't know, we were like, I think it could just do with, I was looking at it and I was like, I think that the bolts just need tightening on it. So I put it in the Vario build group on Facebook, and they were coming back, and a few people said they had the same current issue, so they're interested to hear the outcome, which I have not shared. Then a few people said just loosen it all off, and then we prop it up with wood and then tighten it all back. Anyway, we were at this park up and we were like, right, well, let's just have a go at the door. It's doing my head in. So I didn't prop it up with wood, which on reflection maybe have stopped this issue. But I was like, well, we're not going to completely loosen it off, because I don't want to loosen it all off. That stresses me out, because it'll be heavy anyway. So I was like, let's just tighten. It needs tightening. I could see it needed just lifting, like ever so slightly. So you got the tools out, got your toolbox out. This is why we try to do our things ourselves, but this shit happens to us all the time.
It just puts us right off.
This shit happens to us, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Doesn't this shit happen to us all the fucking time? So we're like, right, okay, yeah, all right, let's have a go.
Yeah,
so then you're there,
on.
right?
DIY attitude. Let's do this.
Right.
We can do this.
We're always like, all right, can do. So you're underneath. You get the bolt, and you're like screwing it, and then you go, oh, fuck. And I'm like, oh, fuck. And then you're like proper, like, something's not gone right.
Yeah.
And then you come out from under the van with the thread of the bolt snapped.
Yeah,
I mean, unbelievable. I've never seen that in my life.
Yeah.
From the wheel of the bottom of the door. Unrepairable. Sheared.
Yeah.
No tool, no nothing would fix that.
That is a pickle. So yeah, basically, I managed to sort of find something to just hold the door on, and we managed to get the door shut.
Completely shut, because that was the fit.
And then for the next
5 days?
Yeah, because
because
there was a holiday. So, in general, you'd be able to go to a garage and like a mechanic, and they'd be able to sort it, and you'd be able to just go the next day. But we were in the middle of a flipping holiday.
Eid for they'd given it, so it was a national holiday. Unlike the UK, just as a bank holiday Monday,
Yeah.
They were closed from the Wednesday
Yeah.
until the following Monday.
Yeah.
This happened on the Thursday.
Yeah.
And then a really helpful guy who'd actually offered us tea,
Yeah.
as they do, at the beach. I asked him to ring a garage.
Yeah.
And he spoke Arabic, obviously, to them. And he was like, he doesn't have the part and he's not going to be open anyway till Monday. This is the issue you're going to have. Then he was saying, oh, why don't you go back to Agadir or go to Casablanca to get the part?
Yeah, it was, in arrear, yeah.
And I was like, mate. I'm not, I like, where do I've now got to order a specialist Mercedes part. You know, I don't really want to do that. So...
We were in contact with garages anyway.
Yes, because of the service.
And because we knew that we wanted to do a service on the way up. And we were recommended this garage by shout out to Langing for Adventure, Roger from Langing for Adventure. He recommended this garage who we were in talks with anyway. And we said to them about the door and they said, yep. We can fix it.
Well, no, he said, do you have the part, the fix? Like,
he initially said, do we have the part? I was like, no.
I just have it in an envelope.
Yeah. He was like, yeah, bring it on Monday, because obviously, he wasn't open until the Monday. He said, bring it on Monday, we'll sort it then.
Turns out, if you don't open the side door of a van for 5 days, you feel like you're literally in a game show in a claustrophobic box.
So yes, it was pretty tough, and it did get to me a couple of times. But yes, it was very claustrophobic not being able to open the side door and have to use the front, because normally we use the front as like a seating area. So someone, the kids sometimes play in the front, or Naomi's sometimes working in the front. But we couldn't really have that because we, it was like with the exit, you'd have to sort of climb over people. So yeah, it was quite annoying. Like, there's worse inconveniences in the world, obviously, but it was just very annoying.
It was just annoying because we were trying to do something to fix something, and then it was irreplaceable. Like, that was an irreplaceable situation.
Yeah.
Anyway, what I loved was that could have happened anywhere. Happened in Morocco, where they have a can-do attitude, like us, but with the tools. And
so, I mean, in the area where the garage was, there were
everything.
Fabricators all around, and they just fixed. Well, I mean, what did they do?
They welded it on.
Yeah,
you didn't see it, but it was perfect.
Yeah.
I still wonder whether I should get a spare one of them just in case, because it's now a weak spot. But then I'm also like, maybe it's better than it was before.
Maybe.
For it to snap off like that.
Yeah.
But then we, because the thing is, I get it though. It's because that's what I couldn't believe as well. We're talking about a massive heavy door on one tiny bolt.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's classic.
On one thread.
Yeah.
Have a day off.
Yeah.
Anyway,
like, could you not make it slightly more tougher than
put
that?
Another one
a door
on.
That's getting properly slammed.
Yeah.
Like, could you not make it like slightly more
elaborate? So then the garage guy couldn't understand what the issue was, and he didn't speak any English, but he was really fluent in French, and that's great when you can speak French. But the language that we're talking about is mechanical language. So
it's not really my forte.
Like when we were in Zagora, we're not a fucking Scooby on what we're trying to translate. So we were just demonstrating
it's
to
like,
him.
Naomi, what is he saying? It's like, I don't really know. It's like quite mechanical language. I have no idea. I wouldn't even know what this is. He's talking about in English, probably.
So then we were showing him by showing him the door. So he fiddles with it for quite a while, lubes it up.
Yeah.
And then this is just like in Zagora in classic Moroccan fashion. He's like, there's a specialist for locks.
Yeah.
I'm like, is he actually a specialist? It didn't look. His sign wasn't specialist for locks. So anyway, he made us, because the filters were not in stock anyway, so he couldn't finish it.
Basically, he was like, I can't bother with this anymore.
Yeah.
I know my mate, my mechanic mate round the corner. He's got more patience for this kind of stuff.
This is it.
So I'm going to send you to the specialist.
Yeah.
And then what? You had to.
Well, then you had to go and get. So then you had to go and get Arlo's vaccinations, and I just flippantly went, "Oh, what? It doesn't close, does it? That the vaccine place?" And you googled it, and you were like 3 p.m.
I was like, "Oh crap, we need to get cracking and get Arlo's last vaccine."
So you ran off that. Then I drove it, following a guy on a bicycle round the corner to this other guy, and he's like, "I'm gonna fix this," and I was like. And I said to him, do you know what? And then it got to the point where I was so stressed because I just thought, he's probably going to make it worse rather than better. And I just thought, I just don't want anything else to snap off this thing. And obviously he's got it all apart, everything's apart. Yeah. And he's really, but at the end of the day, it just feels like this door will just be as it is.
Yeah, it's just an annoying one. It's, it's definitely not perfect, but it's definitely
Better.
much better than it was.
And then I said, oh, how much do you want? He just made the number up. He was like 100 dirham, which was £10. But then when we paid for the
it was a bit of a joke, wasn't it? Yeah.
The guy was like,
specialist.
Yeah. Then the mechanic for the service, he was like, he gave us the bill, and
he did the lion's share of the door and a full service.
Yeah.
And he only charged 150 for labour, as opposed to this guy who was like on it for like
20 minutes.
Yeah, 20 minutes. So yeah, he got a bit sort of hard done by them, but yeah.
But that was the thing that was fascinating by this whole getting the service done in Morocco, because I just couldn't believe, because he spent a good few hours on it the day before.
Yeah.
And then he spent just over an hour on it when we came back to change the filters, and then he was like, my because he originally quoted less because he didn't realise that it needed so much oil.
He just slightly misquoted on the amount of oil, which, whatever.
I don't, because some of the garages in Morocco are working on Varios all the time. I don't think he specifically was working on Varios all the time. But at the end of the day, this is what's so beautiful about Morocco, is that they love the old cars. So you can take something like this to a Moroccan garage and they can work on it. Take something like this to a UK garage, you have to find them like a needle in the haystack, because if you can't plug it in and you have to like dive deeper into the engine, they don't want to do it. So he was happy to just honour less fee for his work, maybe because he overstated in the first place. And that's the honesty of the Moroccans. And I felt awful that really we only paid him £13 for his labour.
Yeah.
And also proves that is what the parts are. Yeah. Because the parts were the same as when we had any other service done.
So in terms of, that's the thing, if you're like, oh yeah, that's actually quite a good idea if I'm going to Morocco and things, just obviously the parts, the oil,
it's all the same
the
cost.
Filters, those you're not gonna make a saving on.
No,
but
you're paying them less labour.
It's just the labour.
Yeah, which is kind of, I mean, I don't want to pay, when we had to investigate the thing that I told the garage that it was in the first place, and then they spent hours investigating and charged me £700 to replace one sensor. I'm not talking about that. That's bollocks.
Yeah.
But then £13 is just ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So that was that.
So I mean, that was successful in the end. And then what was the next thing? We made it up to Asilla, which we hadn't done before, which was like really, really nice.
Yeah.
Like quite an odd one, wasn't it? Like Asilla, in terms of, did someone describe it to you as like where quite a lot of Moroccans go,
it's like the Bournemouth to Morocco.
Like if they're Moroccans are having a staycation, quite a lot of them go
Skegness.
Yeah.
The Skegness.
The Skegness of Morocco.
Well, the woman in the shop who was Spanish, who owned that shop, she was like, can't move on the streets. It's that packed.
Yeah. Well, when it gets sunny, yeah.
No, it's like Margate though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just like Margate.
Used to it.
So
yeah, we loved it, yeah.
Yeah, it was really nice. Did the job. And then before that, we were in another town, which we hadn't visited before, which was...
El Jadida.
Yeah, Al Jadida, which was Portuguese influence, which is very strange.
Yeah, that was interesting, wasn't it?
But, we thought it was just a little town, and then we drove in and we were like in the middle of this massive town and driving the van and that was a bit overwhelming at times. But where we parked up near the little old town bit. That's the thing in Morocco. All the old towns, like in the UK, I suppose, but all the old towns are the bits that you want to visit, Yeah. So that was nice.
There's always going to be those bits. But yeah, Silla was our last stop before taking the ferry, basically, to an extent. We decided final day, because the ladies had a few hammams, but actually the lads hadn't been to a hammam. So we all decided, we found a local one in Asilla.
No. You were refusing that hammam. Don't make out as though you went willingly.
Well, initially I didn't. I wanted to go for a swim, for the last swim in the Morocco Sea. But everybody, I was voted against.
Arlo wanted to go to a hammam.
But yeah.
And how was it?
Well, I mean, my concern was that, with all of Naomi's talk about the nakedness, I was slightly concerned, not that it would have been a massive issue, but I was slightly concerned that I'd be confronted with a whole load of wanging in
Sorry,
my face.
but I don't really understand, right? Okay, so when a woman goes to the toilet, yes, she's in her own cubicle. There is no vulva presented. When you go to a man's toilet, you're at the urinals wanging out your
Well, I
todgers,
mean,
so I
let's
don't
not
get
get
it.
into this, but you know, you don't look, do you?
I
You're
don't
not
know.
looking.
What, you're telling me? I've had this before. You're telling me that as a man, you haven't had a little goosey gander at the guys next door?
No,
What the
not in
fuck?
general.
Meanwhile,
No.
as Anthony, I'm like, did you see the boobs in there? She's
Oh
like,
yeah, Xanthi was
absolutely.
fascinated.
So I don't understand how a man goes to the urinals and doesn't have a little goosey gander at someone else's penis.
I don't know. I don't know.
Bollocks.
For me, there's not that natural curiosity in terms of that, no. But then I'm not really into willies in general, so just not. Although actually, horses' willies fascinating.
You've seen them a lot in Morocco, did you?
Yeah.
Go on
And
then.
then I was walking down the street in Tarifa yesterday, and then there was a dog just sitting there, and it had its lipstick out for no apparent reason. Its owner was getting money out of the hole in the wall, and it was just sitting there, and it had its thing out.
You had a look at that, did you?
Yeah, that was fascinating because it's not really. Yeah, that is interesting.
Right. So how many todgers were out then in the old hammam?
0. Seemingly the thing with the blokes is it's a no todger zone.
How do you know? I bet there's some that do.
Yeah, I imagine so, but not when we went. Like I say, it wasn't massively busy. It was only a few other people. But anyway, I had a lovely time. I've never been so clean. You gave me a scrubber to use. I scrubbed off all the dead skin, like all the crackling.
Did you feel it?
What do you mean?
The dead skin, did you see it coming off?
I mean, I couldn't really see
By
it.
the way, did they
particularly.
offer you a scrub? Do they do it for the men?
I didn't get offered one. I probably, you probably could have had one. There was blokes in there who probably would have done it.
Yeah, working there.
Yeah. But yeah, it was good. Very, never been so clean.
Arlo loved it.
Yeah. And Arlo was just, I mean, even though he probably shouldn't have been, Arlo was just like mucking around with the water. It was like access to like buckets and water. So like just classic lad. He was just like filling up buckets and just like tipping them over his head. And like getting me to like, Dad, just splash me, like just splash me with this bucket again. Probably like not probably what they're there for, but like yeah, he was absolutely loving it.
Well, that's the thing that blows my mind as well. It's like, water usage in general. We all try to be careful with our. I'm not saying everyone is, but we try to be careful with our water usage. But in those hammams,
Yeah.
bloody hell, the amount of water that they must
Yeah.
get through.
I think that's like Arlo was like, well, I'm just going for it with the water now because I'm like they're so tight with the water in the van.
Oh, good. I'm glad that you both had a good. I was worried I was going to come out and I would have been like, "What the fuck is that?"
No, I'm glad that I did it. It was definitely, and I like you said, like it's frustrating that there's not more, because it's quite a nice sort of experience, isn't it? It's like a sort of a communal experience.
Yeah.
I imagine like blokes sort of meet up there and maybe chat and like, or they go there together and and they go in there or they're going there with their family and like making like, it's just
Yeah.
like nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really nice. The one we went in with the women's side, and that one was the busiest I'd ever seen a hammam. And there were like generations of women together with their children.
Yeah.
It was really beautiful. It was the hottest that we'd been in as well. And Paloma was a bit overwhelmed by the heat to begin with, the noise and the heat because it echoes like a swimming pool,
The
but
din,
worse than.
yeah.
So I think for her it felt quite dysregulating to begin with. But then when I was like doing the washing and like washing her, which is what all the women do with their children, then she started to regulate and then the noise sort of lowered. But it is a really I am going to miss those experiences.
So then we stayed in the park up basically in the port. We were sort of eyeing up a local village, but it was a little bit hectic.
No,
for
I
the
lost
night
I lost
before.
my shit. Couldn't get
Yeah.
anything, and I was like, I'm done. Let's go to the port.
But actually, that is because we had a bit of a palaver with the, because obviously, and we'll go into it probably on the next podcast, but like in Morocco, you're dealing mainly in cash. And so,
Only.
Yeah,
When did you
basically-
use your card, apart from at Carrefour?
yeah,
Oh, okay,
petrol
maybe
station,
some petrol
Carrefour.
stations.
Quite a lot of petrol stations, they don't take card, but like, yeah, in general, it's cash. You just have to get cash. and we were trying to sort of, because we had sort of done it quite well, that we had sort of got down to our last dirhams. And then so we were like, okay, right, we're going to go to Tangier Med now, get ready to get on the ferry. And then we were like, okay, we're down, but we have about 20, 25. And we would, it literally, we hadn't even thought, we had like left. And so we were kind of on our way. And then we were on our way through to the toll station. And we were like, oh. And then I was like, oh.
Yeah, because this is the thing. I looked at it without the toll.
Yeah.
And it was double the journey.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, let's just piage it.
Yeah.
And then we didn't have enough cash.
And then we saw the toll and we were like, oh, how much cash have we got left?
Well, because then Waze said it was 34 dirham.
Yeah.
And I said to you, well, then it's at least double. And it was 70 dirham.
Yeah. So then we had to come back. So we'd left the town, and then we had to come back. And then we were coming down the road, and then we were like, oh, yeah, we didn't put the sat-nav on because we were like, oh, no, we've just come from here, so we know roughly where we're going. And I was like, oh, I know roughly where the holes in the wall are. Didn't put the sat-nav on. And then we obviously took a wrong turn.
I don't know how. I literally still to this day don't know how. You just drove to the roundabout, you went right, you went down the road, you went left. But then we must have gone down a different left.
We must have gone down a different left. And then so we ended up in a really massively stressful situation where we were in like the back streets of Asila, and we suddenly were like, the Vario was like a bit big for some of these places.
Are you fucking joking?
The way that some people are parked. And then we went through a bit where there was like market stalls, and it was going to be like a struggle to get around. And then we couldn't find
the banks
that
we knew
and
were
it was
there.
Like, and then we finally got to this bit where it was like a proper touristy bit. And we were like, and you had just like had enough at this point. You were like, no, I am not moving.
I nearly wanged it into the back of a pot. I revert because there was a street, and then they were all coming at me. So I just looked back again. I've done this twice now because once I did actually hit somebody, and luckily in Moroccan style, he just was like, whatever, drive on. But this time I reversed it. Didn't see the fucking posh Range Rover behind me who was honking me and nearly smashed into the back of him. And then the guys in front of me were like, no, don't drive, but then kept driving at me fucking anyway in typical fucking fashion. And then by the time we got there, I literally pulled up in the middle of what is, this massively busy place outside the old town where a guy's like there making, I don't know, omelettes or some shit. And I just put the handbrake on and I just park it there.
Right, Ali, you go find the hole in the wall. I
wasn't blocking anybody. I was just in the middle of like the area.
Yeah, the touristy area.
So you left, and I was being told off by multiple people, and I was like, I'm not moving the van because I'm waiting to get cash, and that's the only, because otherwise I can't leave Asila, and I don't know where else to, like, we're lost.
Yeah.
And then they're all shouting at me, and then this guy comes over, and I normally try to be really nice, but I just lost my shit at that point. And he comes over and he's like, you can't park here. And then he points and he goes, over there. I was like, I'm sorry, I don't really see the fucking difference between me parking here and parking on the right-hand side of the road, which is still in the middle of carnage. But the peak for me was when a guy in a Tesla comes up, stops, winds his window down, and tells me in French whatever he wants to tell me. So I ignore him, and then I look forward, and I thought, fuck me, Ali, are you running? I hope you're running. And then he drives along me again, and he's still shouting at me in French. So I did what anyone would do in that situation. I called him a fascist and told him that I thought he was all the languages that I could think of. And I said, I don't take advice from people who support fascists, and shouted it really loudly. Anyway, a couple of Moroccans thought it was quite amusing. And then you came back, and then we managed to get out of Asila by following a guy who I thought was Moroccan and turned out to be Liverpudlian on a bicycle going, follow me.
Follow me, I'll lead you out.
And I was like, right, what is my life?
Yeah, so that was like a bit of a, So then, this is the joke of it. So then, we've got that, and I'm like, okay, do you know what? I'm going to get 200 dirhams, so like 20 euros worth, because I don't want to, I don't want to go through this again. So I'm going to overdo it. I'm going to get 200 dirhams. So just to make sure that this doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then so in reality, then we have about 120 dirhams left, and we're like, do you know what?
Ferry.
We'll use it on the ferry.
Yeah. We'll have a nice breakfast.
Yeah. Get on the ferry. I'm like gasping for a coffee. I'm like desperate for a coffee.
Because we got the 10 a.m. So we
Yeah.
started the whole boarding thing at 8.
Yeah, exactly. So we didn't really have a chance to like get ourselves sorted. So like I'm gasping for a coffee. Naomi's gasping for a tea. Like, right, getting ready because we're going now. Oh, look, there she is. She's behind the counter now. Let's go get a coffee.
I sent you.
I initially went. First off, she's like...
Did she say this in English or
because
Spanish?
I said, sort of English and Spanish.
Oh, okay.
So initially I said, in my best Spanish, can we use dirhams? Straight away, she cut me off. She didn't even let me finish my sentence. Obviously quite used to this, and very, very grumpily said, no dirhams. And then she started going on this tirade about you use dirhams in Morocco. That's not the money that we use. Blah 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 blah. Okay, and I'm like, okay. At this point, I'm like, okay, fine. I walk off.
Do you know what she was? I said to you at the time. I said she's an exasperated woman. She's
Yeah.
a woman in a van, lost in a cellar, being shouted at by a man out of a Tesla.
Yeah. She's the equivalent of that.
Yeah.
She's a woman, and she's obviously had grief about it before. So there's obviously a lot of like.
She's had enough.
She's obviously had a lot of people who have said that's not cool. So I gave her a space. I'd like walked away. It's like fine. And I was like, okay. Annoyingly, then I came back to Naomi. Annoyingly, we can't use the dirhams. And Naomi was like, oh no, but we do have a card. I was like, oh yeah, of course, we've got a card. We can just use a card,
In
can't
Spain,
we?
cards are used all the time.
Yeah. So obviously they'll take a card. No. Cash only. Euros, cash only.
Right.
We've just been in Morocco. Like, why would we have euros cash?
You've just said that's the thing. We all understand that in Morocco it's only dirhams,
Yeah.
which you can only get in Morocco. And
Don't
now
worry.
I'm on my way back.
Not against the cash only thing, but like not on it. If you're going to say, oh no, this is a Spanish ship. Well, in Spain, most people have a card machine.
What a nightmare.
So I was like, right, so we literally can't get a drink.
What time did you get back in the van?
What time did we get back in the van?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
It was like 1:30, right?
Yeah.
And you hadn't had a coffee.
Yeah.
Were you okay?
And I was like, and I felt ill for the rest of the day because I hadn't. That's how much it's ridiculous, isn't it? It's like, being that and I genuinely felt like even into the evening, I felt like ill. But yeah.
So that was a lesson. Anyway, so now.
It's like, can we not just have a card machine, or can we not, if it's a ferry that's going in between Morocco and Spain, can we not just accept dirhams?
Anyway,
would
so
that
now
not
we've got
be...
Arlo's mortified. You got £15. You got £15 in dirham. What you can do with that? What you can do with that?
So we've got because in general, that's an app. You're not going to be able to change those dirhams back into euros.
You can't.
However,
no, that's the thing.
If you go to the office of Carlos, who is like the main guy for getting your ferry tickets, unless you do that DFDS
Unless they have the
promotion,
yeah.
Carlos is your man, and they do actually change them back.
Yeah, but I said to you, it cost me £15 in diesel just to go back to Algeciras.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see if we're sort of anywhere near that area.
It's just annoying that you can't change it. But anyway, classic. That's classic. Right.
Yeah.
Unforeseen costs of van life.
Yeah.
Next.
Getting too much dirhams out. What was there? Oh yeah, and then we landed in Spain.
Yeah.
And it was the first thing we did when we landed in Spain. We came to Tarifa. Well, we did some washing at the place we...
Well, I just washed some rugs.
Yeah.
Because the thing about Morocco is they take everything from you.
Yeah.
And to wash, it's very annoying. Anyway, I really wanted to wash the rugs of the van. So we did a nice little rug wash, got some water. The thing is we didn't need to drive to Tarifa, actually, but now I've changed my route option moving forward. So we do, actually. But we knew, because we came to Tarifa before we left, so we came back because it's just really easy for vans here. And then we knew that there was a Lidl.
Yeah. So we were happy just to come back and just come to a Lidl. And
the guy next to us, if you can hear banging, we're not going to be able to edit that out. Because I was doing meditation recordings yesterday and he was doing it. But he also has a Vario and he's actually changing his own brake pads.
Yeah,
so
fair play.
That's what the banging
fair
is.
play. So yeah, we came to the Lidl, and then for our first tea, picky tea.
Picky tea.
Like, it's an absolute, I think it's a British summertime
Picky
staple,
tea.
isn't it?
Picky
tea.
tea.
And then kind of leads us on to another thing.
Well, I'll tell you what I want to say about that, right?
Yeah.
Is that I want to be one of those people who's like, well, I went to North Africa and I had my best time and food didn't bother me and I didn't miss anything. Like, I'm at one with the country that I'm in. But then I came to Lidl and I was like, oh fuck me, that chorizo though.
Yeah, chorizo. Like,
pate.
like decent cheese.
Sourdough. I could do
yeah.
this because I can't eat gluten, but I can eat a sourdough. So I was like, oh my God,
Yeah.
sourdough. And also Greek yogurt.
Oh, yeah, proper Greek yogurt in a
the
big pot.
Yeah, because the yogurt in Morocco, it tastes like cheese, the natural
Yeah,
one.
it's never quite kept cold enough, is it?
No, anyway, I mean, I ate it, obviously. I've eaten a lot of yogurt in Morocco, just not just cheesy. So, honestly, I was very happy with my picky tea. But anyway, yes, the thing that we want to talk about is...
So, basically, when Naomi got gifted
Yes, I did.
randomly
I did, yeah.
a bottle of wine. Now, Naomi, if you're a long-time listener of nomestia podcast, you'll know from a previous episode that Naomi
Yeah, I am.
was 5 years sober. 5 years?
Yeah, 5 years.
Bloody hell.
Thing is, right, I've thought a lot about this, right? So this is the thing. You're like, and the children, because they know that I don't drink, they're like, well, you're not going to drink that, mummy.
Yeah.
And I sat with it, and she was really sweet French woman, and she came down the stairs when it was at the hotel with the girl's birthday, and she came to me, and she was flying back the next day, and she couldn't take her wine, and she said, have this Chablis. And I was like, she goes, it's really good one as well, and was like buzzing to give it to me, and spoke French only, and I was like picking up what she was saying, and I put it in my bag, and I was like, no, I can't drink that. Because this is like when I went to my cousin's wedding and they handed me Prosecco and I was like sniffing it like, fucking hell. And the thing is the reason I stopped drinking completely and went sober was because the line of it just was so blurry. It wasn't really clear when I would, when I wouldn't. And I felt a bit overwhelmed in social situations. And then I met sober friends. So shout out to my friend Judy, she's sober. It was easy to go out with her and we would all just order a non-alcoholic
That's the thing.
drink.
It was never really a thing in the circles that you were in. It was
No.
never like, because it can be awkward, can't it? Oh, I don't drink, or
Yeah.
that people who sort of, and you feel like you're banging on about it.
Yeah, and I never was. I would just go out and
It
just
was-
like surreptitiously order. If I went out, which was very
Yeah.
rare, I'd surreptitiously order something. But
Yeah.
people, and then like, my family, like if my aunt came, she wasn't always, she took years to work out that I just didn't drink. Like, no, I just don't drink any alcohol. And I haven't touched a drop. And there was also a part of me at the time, because of where I was on my journey, I was like, I'm spiritually aware that I want to be. It was when I was mainly doing my breath work and I was so connected with source, myself and my body, that when I would drink, it would take me so far away from that I felt like alcohol wasn't what I was enjoying anymore. But the taste of alcohol, like that's why I would sniff the Prosecco. The taste.
You're like, oh.
Fuck. Like the cider, I grew up on a farm with like, that kind of attitude of like cider and beer, and it was just like the social aspect of that. Like, my parents were drinkers, not like heavy drinkers, but like they went to Young Farmers Club when they grew up. And so like for me, alcohol has always been part and parcel of it. But when she gave me the wine, there was something that I'd already been thinking about drink and alcohol. It was actually mainly since we were hanging around for a few days with Langing for Adventure and Roger was drinking wine. And then we were at another place later on after I got given the wine, and it was with this really sweet French couple with their child, and then another older couple who were so sweet, and they were so funny. They were like invited us for, what did they call it? Not 11s, what was it?
Aperitif.
Oh,
It's
aperitif.
Yeah,
Come later, join for aperitif. I'm like, I don't know what that means. So British. Anyway, I was like, oh, maybe they finished their aperitif, Al. It was like, I don't know, 9 o'clock or something. No, still going.
Yeah.
We're so British. And then they're like, do you want wine? And we went over with our cup of tea.
Yeah.
And they're like,
it wasn't the vibe, was it?
what? And they kept saying, do you want the wine? And it's like, it's not that I don't want it, because I do like the taste of it. So anyway, you were adamant that I wasn't going to start drinking. The children were like, obviously you're not going to drink that. I tried to give it away at the time to a couple, and they were like, oh, no, thank you. I was like, fucking hell, everyone's bloody sober now. And then I looked it up, and it was an expensive Chablis.
Yeah.
It was like like €25 worth of wine. So I said to you, I feel like it would be part of this wanky journey that I'm always on, to be like, what would it feel like to drink in a conscious way? Not that I wasn't conscious before, but like in a way that felt a bit more aligned. Anyway, you were arguing with me.
But no, you made your point very clear, and I accepted that. I was like, oh yeah, no, that's fine. Because in reality, what you were going for was kind of what I was kind of doing anyway, in that I've never me personally, I've never not drunk alcohol. It's just never been like a thing for me. So like, I always joke like, oh, I only drink when I'm doing a pub quiz. So, you know, oh, if you're offering me a drink, you're going to have to ask me some trivia questions, blah, 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 blah. But so yeah, for me it was never like a not thing, but it was always like, oh, you know, I only really drink in these kind of situations, particularly if Naomi's not drinking. I'm not really bothered about drinking by myself.
I just think that this is the other things that I was talking about, the binary nature of our society, where everything's binary. You know, it's like you're home educating or you're not. It's like, well, actually there are hubs that exist, or there's like my friend Gemma, shout out to her, whose child goes to not Waldorf, but there's some kind of like aspect of that, you know. It's everything is just, oh, but if you take them out of school now, then they'll never be able to go back to school. If you live in a van, you'll never be able to live in a house. If you don't drink it's either you drink alcohol or you don't drink alcohol.
It's kind of like that sort of black and white nature of the world at the moment, like the polarizing and the thing. And you know, you kind of just want to celebrate like the waftiness and the grey areas and those things.
Yeah,
and so it's like, I mean, you can absolutely enjoy a drink.
I don't like I don't like some of the Britishness's relationship with wine. I find that grating at times. Like, but at the same time, I do still hope that our children explore their relationship with alcohol.
Yeah, I think it is. It is part of it, isn't it? It's
part of it. But I mean, because then we started listening to that podcast, and he was like, so fucking boring. And he was like, oh, I've never drunk. I don't drink coffee.
Yeah.
I was like, and I listened to him, I thought,
was like, yeah.
God, what?
Is that what I sound like?
As dull as that. Fuck that. And then we listened to another podcast with the woman saying,
it was self-esteem. It was Adam Buxton talking to self-esteem.
Yes, and she said what I had just been verbalizing.
Yeah, it was really
weird,
actually.
alcohol.
Yeah, and she was talking about that and how stupid the binary.
Fuck me! Did you have to? You could have just had a podcast, but you had to mention Adam Buxton, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, no, I was like shouting out to the specific podcast.
Yeah, anyway, if you listen to that, she talks about this very thing, which I'd just been saying.
It was weird that we listened to it at that point when we were like, oh, you know.
Anyway, we thought if we're going to keep this wine in the fridge, which it had been in for weeks at this point, we thought, well, let's not go through the border with the bottle of wine just in case. Like, I don't know, but let's not. You know, the joke of it would be fucking us, who doesn't even give a shit about the bottle getting pulled over because we've got a bottle of wine in the fridge. Do you know what I mean? So I thought, let's
just
not.
Get it drunk.
So then I thought, well, we're either going to drink it or give it away, because someone will take it. I could find someone that would take it.
Yeah, yeah.
But then I just drank it.
Yeah.
No regrets.
Yeah, no, loved it. It was a lovely little drop, and it was like, yeah, lovely.
So then I thought, when we went to back to Lidl, I thought, well, let's have a little look at what everyone talks about with this alcohol and
yeah, because actually, because we hadn't really been looking,
I'd
we'd
never
not really looked in the alcohol section. So, you know, when we've been in Spain, when we've been in Portugal, been in France, not really looked at the wine.
Well, it's blown my mind.
Yeah, but you could not believe how cheap it was.
No, sorry, but I still can't get my head around it. How is there a bottle for 99 cents?
Like a bottle of Sauvignon Blanc. I mean, we should probably try it, shouldn't we?
But
Just see what it's like.
this is the thing. They were all between like €2, €3, €4, and then 5 or 6 was top end.
Yeah. No,
Well,
you couldn't believe it, could you?
So I was so shocked at the Spanish man next to me because I kept going on about it. He was laughing, but then I was like, and then I said to Ali, "Oh look, there's an eco. It was like an eco bottle of wine,
Yeah,
with
like a
eco credentials.
bio,
Bio one, €2.50, mate.
Yeah.
I was like,
Couldn't
wow.
believe it.
Well, now I've off the wagon, as they say. I'm gonna have a go on my eco bottle of wine. It was very, very nice, and because my choice of wine is a Sauvignon.
Yeah.
And it was a Sauvignon.
Yeah.
And it was very, very nice.
Yeah, it was lovely.
But you know what made me rethink, which is what I said to you. You know, when we were talking on the other podcast, I just want to correct something that I said about that guy that took £200, or was it £300 worth of wine?
Yeah, no, it was 200 euros.
And
worth
I
or
said
something.
to you, oh, what? It's like €10 bottle or whatever,
Yeah,
thinking UK prices.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, in his car for €200, how from a Lidl, how
Yeah,
many bottles did he have?
But he didn't make it clear it was wine. I don't think he specified wine. But if it was wine, potentially he had like 100 bottles.
No fucking wonder they pulled him over and say, I said that at the time, but now I'm really hammering down that.
Yeah.
Anyway, we made it to Spain after all my stress of the paperwork, stressing out whether I should have another export certificate. Now we're not allowed the EU passports, all of that stress. We just went on through. No one asked a fucking dicky bird about any of the animals. No. We had a little... Arla was fascinated. It was a Mercedes lorry going back and forth with a company that you've worked with before in your job, Smith's, doing the old scanning.
Yes.
So... we had a lovely time, easy breezy through, no issues.
Yeah, it was actually very, it was easy.
Shout out to Tangier Med, making it easy one day at a time.
Yeah, so that guy, he because that's what he did. He brought it from Ceuta
back
to Spain and then
wonder.
came back. Like Tangier Med,
Easy.
Tangier Med Customs easy.
Anything else?
No, I believe that was it on our list.
Hammam.
Yeah, we're done.
Lads. Last dirham's palaver.
Yeah, literally palaver.
Crossing on ferry, currency, question mark.
Yeah.
I'm just doing the
Why?
listeners and a little insight into your lists. Landing in Lidl, return to wine.
Return to wine.
That's
it. Bang. Thank you for listening. We really, really appreciate you listening. Thank you.
Nomestia.
Started the recording. Right. Still faffing, Arlo.
When I was talking about
Yes, darling. Listen. We've started.
You're on a beach. Breathe in.
Oh, the cat's getting involved.
The sea is coming in.
Cat's
going out. The cat is Wait, what? The cat
I'm
is
just going to move
purring.
the cat. Moving the cat.
Brrr.
Beep, beep, beep. Right, Arlo, are you in your bed now, ready?
Yeah.
Right. Let's go.